Hello, this is Hui. Welcome to watch my video C++ Programming on Linux. In this short video, we're going to demonstrate how to build a line chart with multi-lines. In one of the previous video, we made an example, which is build a line chart with one line. So in that video example, we build first, we load date, which is the date from the file, which is a test file, and we using the show chart and show the stock of Royal Bank chart in the last 6 months. So in this example, our chart is only one lines, and in very popular, we build a chart with multi-lines. So in this short video, we try to build a multi-line chart example. Since build a multi-lines second line, we need the date for the second line serial, but as we don't have the test date, we just build another line, which is the average cost, which of this this period. So here on our previous example, and on the show chart action, when the show chart triggered, and we goes to scope slot triggered, and here's when the show chart triggered. So what we do, we instantialize a new chart object, which is the pointer, and this chart add a serial, which is we load from when the load date action triggered. So now we have to do is first we calculate the average of this serial. So in order to calculate the average, we can just write lines here. We also can create functions. In one of the viewer and ARM-UC ask the question, how to create a function with Qt C++. And hi ARM, I really don't know what exactly you mean, create a function with Qt C++. And here, and based on your replies and based on my replies, so we have a video which we create a pure C++ project, which we can add a class or function and in that class. And as per your replies, says you would like to use a.cpp and a.h is a function. So I really don't know what exactly you ask, but maybe I'm wrong. So here says if we want to create a function with this graphic application, so one way to do is we can go to our project called my line chart and right click to the add new, and so there's when we select C or C++, and we have 3 options. So we can select create a header file, we can create a source file, we can create a class. So if we create a class, let's choose create class. We choose class and we give it the name. Says we call the ch chart function. So because we use this, because this option can create both header file called chart function and CPP files. We just click next and click so this add to project. We says yes, so we just finish. And so in this case, so now you can say we create a header file, which is a class, but we don't want to use a class, which is just create a function, right? So we get rid of the class. We try to define the function here. So because our function is inside this project, and we have to include this, so we have to include our function of Q line chart, which is our chart function, and we define the using the chart namespace. So we define the function and return the real number. We call the calculate average price, and the parameter for this function, which is the line series of called the in series. So in our chart function option, so we, and under our chart function CPP file, we just build a function which we specify in the header file. It's called calculator average price, and the parameter is the Q line series. So in this function, what we're going to do, first we create an average price, which is initialized with 0, 0. And then we make a loop from the I equals 0 to the series count with a total count with I prime with loop. So each loop we average the price add into this series at the counter I, which is a Y number, which is the price. And so after loop, our average price is the total price. And the total price divide the total count, which is the average price, and then return the average price. So in this way, we can build a function, and with chart func.header and chart func.cpp. So now let's go back to our function here. So in order to get the average of our series, so Q real, which I call the equal, which is the function which we have defined in our chart function, because that function is not in this class, so we have using dot dot called as calculate average price, which the input parameter is our series. So in this way, we got our average price. So after we got the average price, we can show the average price we calculate on our status bar, and then we have to create a new series. This new series should have the same count as this series. So we make a loop for I equals 0 to our series count, which is exactly the same count of them. And each loop, we just append the I with average price, which we calculate from our functions. And after that, we just do the chart, add serial, which is a serial 2, which we just create, which is the average price of this period. So now we can just run. So now we have started our windows. So we load the date, and which from same date, and we show the chart. So you can see we have our average price chart and be displayed in this chart. So sometimes, we want this is print this chart line with a different line, like a dash line. So for the QT, the line has different styles. So we have a solid line, which is like this, and a dash line, which is a dash line, and the dot line, we can have dot line, and dash dot line, and the dash dot dot line, one dash, two dot, and customize the lines. So in order to show our chart this average with dash line, we can set up. So what we can do, we can create a pen called myPen using QPen style, which get from the series pen method, which returns the pen styles. In our pen, we can set up a style, which is called a QT dash line, which is what we want. We can also set this line, the color, let's say set to red, and the dash can have default, and all the widths you can set customize. Let's just set width with 2. So then this series 2, we using the set pen method to set our customize the pen, and let's try to run this. So let's try to say load date. We can set JP Morgan's stock chart and show the date. So you can see now we have a line which is a JP Morgan's stock price trend, and we have an average price, which we are line, which is the dash line. So it's hello, this is Hui. Thanks to watch my video. Hopeful this is useful, enjoyable, and it's going to be great to have your feedback, especially for ARM. And hopeful in this video we resolved your problem of how to add a function with C++. Actually, to add a function in Qt C++, exactly same as what we showed in the previous video, which is no UI project, and there's no different for UI project or no UI project.